And there are two more types of chips: continuous chip with built-up edge, and of course serrated chip. We'll see that at the end. So all of you should understand under what conditions the discontinuous chip is formed. Similarly, continuous chip is formed. Yeah, can anybody tell the type of work based on type of workpiece material? Now, if I want to get the discontinuous chip, what type of workpiece material should I take? Or for what type of workpiece material you will get discontinuous chip? Please respond.
Brittle.
Yes. If the workpiece is brittle in nature, you'll get discontinuous chip, because this is failure mechanism is brittle fracture due to compression. Okay, compression of the workpiece, that is due to the force exerted by the cutting tool. So because it cannot yield quickly, it will break. Okay, that mechanism is known to you. And similarly, for continuous chip formation, what is the type of material? So it is obviously the
soft and ductile.
Yes, ductile material. So that is about workpiece. So other conditions, if you take, if you are operating at low speeds, which type of chip you will get between these two? Continuous and discontinuous. Low speeds.
Continuous, sir.
If you are operating at low speeds, you will get a discontinuous chip. Okay, discontinuous. If you are operating at high speeds, generally you will get the continuous chip. Then that is about speed. And of course, if you are going for more depth of cut or width of cut or feed, so what is the type of chip you will get? Depth of cut is high. Then what type of chip you will get? Please respond. If depth of cut is high, you will get discontinuous. Okay. And what about rake angle? If you have high rake angle, what is the type of chip you will get?
Continuous.
High rake angle, yes, continuous. So if the other is opposite, if you have low rake angle, you will get discontinuous chip. Okay. So these are the things, main things you have to understand. So we are getting discontinuous chip for brittle material and low speeds and low rake angle. So all these are for discontinuous chip or small chips, in other words. Okay. And of course, other factors are also there, like load machine tool stiffness. Machine tool stiffness, if it is less, so there will be vibrations. So then you will get the discontinuous chips. And if you are not applying the cutting fluid also, or if the cutting fluid application is not effective, then you may get a discontinuous chip once again. So that is about discontinuous chip. And of course, we have seen the associated disadvantages. What are the disadvantages with the discontinuous chip? Or advantage, any advantage or disadvantage?
Sir,
Hello. Am I audible? Hello.
moving part.
Okay. Okay. I could not hear you properly. Your voice was breaking. So mainly we prefer discontinuous chip in general. Okay, because if the chip is in contact with the tool continuously for a long time, heat dissipation is a big problem. And not only that, the tool will continuously wear. So because of that, tool life will be reduced. So that's why we prefer discontinuous chip in general. Chip disposal will also be easy. But the associated problem is if the chip is discontinuous, obviously surface finish will not be good because tool is engaged with the workpiece. Okay, one chip is removed, then it is disengaged. Again, the tool has to freshly engage with the workpiece. So surface will not be smooth. Cutting force will also continuously vary. Okay, it varies. So it will result in some kind of vibration. Ultimately, it will lead to the reduction of the tool life. So those are associated problems. And if you want to have continuous chip, one thing is ductile material and high cutting speeds. Okay. Then, because why at high cutting speeds, I have told you what is the reason at high cutting speeds you are getting continuous chip. Why do we get continuous chips at high cutting speeds? Please think and respond. Mainly, it is becoming a dynamic type of friction. Understand? At high speeds. So chip is very quickly, okay, it is going away from the cutting tool. Okay, interaction time between the chip and the tool will reduce. So you can see if the chip is in contact or sticking to the cutting tool for a longer time, okay, if the adherence is time is more, then there will be that bulging effect. Understand? Because chip movement is restricted by the cutting tool. When they are in contact, a cutting tool will try to push the chip downwards, whereas chip is trying to go upward. If the speed is high, definitely this chip will go away from the cutting tool quickly. Okay, and friction will also be less at higher speeds. So due to that, its length, okay, it will form continuous chip. Understand? Its width will increase at the same time. Width will decrease at the same time. Okay, length is more, width thickness, not width, thickness of the chip will reduce. Okay. So at lower cutting speeds, it is opposite. So there will be more bulging effect. So you will get and discontinuous chip there. Now at high rake angles, okay, you will get continuous chips. Understand? There is A chip can easily flow on that rake face. Okay. If the rake angle is negative or less, chip has to curl, okay, on the rake surface very quickly. So if the rake surface is very high, then there is some time for the chip to flow over the rake surface, then curl. So if the curling is more, then breaking effect will be more. Understand? If that curling or the curvature, whatever is formed by that chip, if its radius is more, obviously it will not break quickly. If its radius is less, then it will break quickly. So these are some of the reasons, okay, for the formation of continuous chip, and we have seen the problems with the continuous chip. Any advantage or disadvantage with continuous chip? Let us discuss the advantage first. What is the advantage of the continuous chip formation compared to discontinuous?
Better surface finish.
Yes. So you'll get a better surface finish because we are getting a large chip without any continuously the tool is in contact with the workpiece. And at the same time, force is not varying. Okay, there is uniform force throughout the machining process. Then obviously it can it will eliminate those vibrations and chatters. In that sense, a tool life will increase. But the amount of heat generated is high because the chip is in continuous contact with the rake surface or some portion of the flange surface. So the amount of heat generated is more or heat dissipation is less. So there is a chance of deformation of the cutting tool, okay, edge. So that is the problem. And of course, if you have continuous chip, its disposal is difficult and it will entangle between this workpiece and the tool. So it will create a problem. Okay, it will also disturb the surface finish little bit. If the chip is curling and coming between the workpiece and the cutting tool, so it will create unnecessary problems and it is hazardous to the operator also. So those are the merits and demerits of the discontinuous and continuous chip. And we have also seen the orthogonal cutting and oblique cutting. What is the difference between those two? Okay. So under what conditions the orthogonal cutting is achieved, under what conditions you will get the oblique cutting in general. So of course, most of the cutting processes are oblique cutting processes only. Okay. Orthogonal cutting process is ideal cutting process. This is generally used for analysis purpose or research purpose. But of course, it will give approximately good results. But if you want, okay, very good result, or okay, suppose if you are estimating the cutting force, if you are using orthogonal cutting and oblique cutting, obviously oblique cutting will give you the more accurate result, but it will take more time. Okay, more complicated calculations are there. To make it easy, we are dealing with orthogonal, which okay, that will also give approximately correct result. Okay, now let us discuss the remaining type of chips. So this is where we have stopped. Now the next type of chip is continuous chip with built-up edge. Now what is this built-up edge? Okay, we have to understand the built-up edge first. Let us see. So whenever the cutting is taking place, particularly in case of ductile materials, or for the brittle materials also. Of course, for a very brittle material, it is due to brittle fracture. Okay, chip formation is due to brittle fracture in case of brittle material. But for ductile materials, so it is due to shearing action. Okay. Now, before shearing action takes place, there will be plastic deformation of the material, workpiece material, okay, which is just in front of the cutting edge. So, plastic deformation causes the adhesion between chip and the tool face. So, once the material is plastically deformed, and of course, there is some amount of temperature is also there. So, the flat plastically deformed material will stick to the rake surface. So that is the first step. Now, tool chip friction causes portions of chip to adhere to the rake face. So this chip has to go away from the rake surface. So chip will try to move on the rake. Rake surface of the cutting tool, or some amount of the plastically deformed material will overflow to the flank surface as well. So whatever material that is sticking to the cutting tool, okay, then that will over a time, okay, after some time, so it will accumulate and form like a small lump. Okay, that is called built-up edge. Okay, it will act as a cutting edge later. Okay, that we will see with one or two figures. You'll get more idea. So this is one figure showing the formation of built-up edge. So this is tool. Workpiece is there. This is chip. Chip is trying to go in this direction. But because it is plastically deformed here material, some portion is sticking here. Now built-up edge is gradually formed from deposited workpiece material on the tool tip. Okay, around the tool tip area, some portion of the workpiece material is sticking to the tool tip. Now next step is, so initially, okay, this lump has formed. And as the material is progressing here, the workpiece is moving. So one more layer of the plastically deformed material is sticking to the previously formed small lump of material here. Okay. Now built-up edge becomes unstable as it grows larger and eventually breaks apart. And this cycle repeats. So after formation of one layer, two layer, three layers like that, after some time it will become unstable now because it is just sticking to this tool. Okay, once the force is becoming more and its height is growing up, it will become unstable because sticking action will not be much by that time. Okay, because of the force that is coming onto this. So this will now break. So during that breaking also, some portion of this built-up edge will stick to the chip that is flowing. Understand? Some portion will stick to this and it will flow along the chip. And some portion will be sticking to this portion and it is come along the finished surface, and some portion is on the tool itself. It will break apart and fall down. Okay, So this is the concept of built-up edge. A part of built-up edge material is carried away by the chip. The rest is deposited randomly on the workpiece surface. Okay, some portion is on the workpiece surface and some will fall. High interface friction. So reasons for the formation of built-up edge. So high interface friction. If the friction between workpiece and tool is very high, that means chip cannot move easily on the rake surface because of high friction. So then there will be more heat generation that will lead to make this material take it to the plastic state. Then it will stick easily. So this happens at low speed. At low speeds, what will happen? Chip moves very slowly on the rake surface. So high friction is there. Now high feed or depth of cut. So at high feed also you are trying to cut more material in a single turning. Okay. For a single circular turn, you are trying to cut more width from the shaft if the feed is high. If the depth of cut is high, you are trying to penetrate too deep into the workpiece. So in those cases also friction will be high. Chip will not freely move on the rake surface. So due to that, high temperature will generate. So that will cause the material to plastic. Okay, that will make the material to plastically deform and stick to the rake surface. And a low rake angle is also one of the reasons. If the rake angle is low, the amount of force exerted by the tool on the workpiece is high because tool is not sharp, is not thin. So if more force is acting, then it will crush the material in front of the cutting edge, or it will compress the material. So material will be going into the plastic state. Now built-up edge is formed for ductile materials in general, because ductile material will easily be converted into the plastic state. Brittle material anyhow it will break. Okay, and one more thing is for ductile materials we are getting continuous chip. In case of continuous chip only we will generally see the built-up edge, because in case of continuous chip the heat generated is high. Okay, because the chip is in contact with the tool for a longer duration. So high amount of temperature is generated that will again help the workpiece material to become plastically deformed. Is it clear, the concept of built-up edge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have understood how the built-up edge is formed. Now let us see the exact conditions under which the built-up edge will form. Of course, we have already seen them briefly here. These are the things. Okay, now a few more extra points also we'll get here. First thing is stronger adhesion between chips and tool face. This is one main reason. So while some materials they stick together, a combination of tool material and workpiece material. So some of the materials between some of the materials there will be more adhesion. If that tendency is there between those materials, so then built-up edge formation chances are high. Now low rake angle. Okay, this we have discussed. If the rake angle is low, cutting tool is not sharp, we are exerting more force. So more compressive force is there. Workpiece material is getting deformed plastically. So that is the reason. Now large uncut chip thickness. This is in other way. This is nothing but more depth of cut and more feed. Okay, that will give you the large uncut chip thickness. Understand? So if you are trying to remove high amount of material, so obviously it is difficult to remove high amount of material in a single attempt. So more friction will be generated, more heat will be generated. That will lead to the plastically deformed workpiece material. High friction at tool face, of course, for that a low speed and the ineffective use of cutting fluid. This is also one reason. If the cutting fluid is not effective in removing the heat, so there will be high heat generation. So high heat means the workpiece is getting plastically deformed easily, then built-up edge formation. So obviously, it is due to more friction and high heat generation, this built-up edge is forming. Higher the strain hardening exponent, higher chance of built-up edge. If workpiece material has more work hardening or the strain hardening tendency, that means what does it mean? The workpiece density is less in the initial stages, but once you are compressing, okay, it is getting work hardened or strain hardened. So that means it is very soft material, in other words. So in case of soft material, the tendency of this built-up edge formation is high. Now you can see here the relation between cutting speed and height of built-up edge. So at a very, very low speeds or zero speed, of course, there is no machining is taking place. So in the very low ranges, about 15 up to around 15 meter per minute. So built-up edge is gradually increasing at low speeds. So built-up edge height is increasing. That is the meaning. Okay. So up to this, we consider this is low speed for this particular material, that is steel. Okay, these are the properties. So this is one experimental result. So once the speed is increasing further, now the built-up edge formation will reduce. Okay, if the speed is high, the built-up edge formation tendency is less, because at higher speeds, a chip removal is easy, less effort relatively, the chip can be removed very easily. Understood. You need not, if the friction will be less, okay, we have already discussed that. At high speed, continuous chip is forming, friction is less. So if the friction is less, heat will also be less, okay. And of course, the chip is also moving very rapidly. So built-up edge formation is less. So this is the relation. Now built-up edge, what is the disadvantage with built-up edge? So you can see here, this is the built-up edge formed over a time. Okay. Now what is happening? Ideally, tool tip, this tool tip should be in contact with our workpiece. Okay, for machining process, for effective machining process, tool tip should interact with the workpiece and remove the material from the workpiece. But instead of tool tip, now this built-up edge is in contact with the workpiece material. Understand? Generally, this built-up edge material, what is the material of built-up edge? Workpiece material only. So you are trying to now cut the workpiece material with the same kind of workpiece material. Understand? But for effective cutting, tool should be harder than the workpiece always. Okay. Tool material hardness must be higher than the workpiece material for cutting action to take place, for effective cutting action. So that is not happening now. Okay. And not only that, so the rake angle is changing. Okay. Currently, this is the lip angle for the cutting tool, this one. And of course, rake angle is, if this is the tool. So this is the rake angle, actual rake angle. But because there is some material here, now the rake angle has changed. Effective rake angle has changed, isn't it? You could see here. So delta, if you consider this, let us consider the rake angle instead of lip angle. If I draw a horizontal line here, this is the rake angle gamma for the cutting tool. But now this built-up edge is acting as a rake surface here or the cutting edge. So this is, now this is the rake angle gamma. Let us say this is gamma 1, that is the actual rake angle of the cutting tool. This is gamma 2. Now this gamma 2 is higher. Okay. So tool geometry is changing, effective tool geometry is changing. Okay, your intention is different and your result that you are getting is different because you are taking a cutting tool with a particular rake angle and you are cutting at a particular speed to get some desired material removal rate, surface finish, etc. But you are not getting them anymore because the tool geometry has changed. Okay. So that is one thing. Rake angle is increasing means what is happening? Tool is becoming thin effectively for some time at least. Okay, till this built-up edge is removed. So more force is coming onto the cutting tool, or cutting tool, not more force is same, but tool is now effectively thin. So breakage of tool may take place. Okay, chances are high. Okay, because of this. That is one thing. And of course, not only that, this built-up edge is sticking to the finished workpiece, that is changing the surface finish of the workpiece. That is not at all desirable. Okay. And of course, uncut chip thickness is increasing. So this is the T1. You would like to remove a thickness of T1 from the workpiece material. That is your intention. Because of built-up edge, it is going further inside and you are removing the thickness of T2, removing more material from the workpiece. You are trying to remove at least, okay, if not removed, okay. So that is changing this dynamics of the machining process completely. Now the next thing is, observe the second figure. Now some portion, this is the workpiece material or the built-up edge. Built-up edge material, what is the material of built-up edge? Workpiece material only. So you are trying to remove the material from some steel. Steel is your workpiece. So some portion of the steel is sticking to the tool. Carbide is nothing but tool material here. So it is sticking to the tool. Now, obviously, built-up edge is forming due to high temperature only. Now, tool is heated up and built-up edge, that is also at temperature. They are at more or less the same temperature. Okay, the interaction, if you consider this surface. But their melting temperatures are different and they will cool at different rates. Understand? So suppose steel will cool quickly compared to carbide. So it is contracting very quickly because it is cooling down quickly. Okay. So in that process, it is pulling this carbide material also. Okay. During cooling, it will try to pull the carbide material also. disconnection, I think, in between. I don't know. When did I left the meeting? Just a few seconds back, or what was the
Just 1 minute back, sir.
1 minute? Okay. Okay. So I think I have discussed this slide to some extent before I left the meeting. Did I discuss the first figure, second figure also?
Yes, sir.
Second figure was also discussed. Is it?
No. Second figure not discussed.
Okay, first figure is all. So coming to the second figure, so steel here, you observe steel and carbide. Steel is nothing but the built-up edge. So built-up edge material is largely workpiece material only. Carbide is here tool material. Now steel and carbide have different melting temperatures and their cooling rate is different. Suppose you have heated steel to, let us say, some 200 degrees Celsius, for example. And carbide is also heated up to 200 degrees Celsius. So if you leave them in air, okay, let us say after 5 minutes, steel will come down to, let us say, 100 degrees Celsius, whereas carbide will remain at 150 degrees Celsius because carbide will cool slowly. Now, because this steel is cooling down very quickly, so and it is in contact with the carbide, it will try to pull the carbide also. During cooling, contraction is taking place. So during contraction, this material is coming together and it will try to pull the surrounding carbide material also, which is in contact with the steel. So due to that, this here, one crack will form here. Understand? So this kind of cracks will form due to difference in the melting temperature or the cooling rate of these workpiece and tool materials. So one disadvantage is tool geometry is changing, rake angle is increasing effectively. So that will reduce the tool life. If rake angle is less, tool will break quickly because it is becoming thin effectively. And built-up edge is sticking to the finished workpiece, that is also not desirable. So this is a finished workpiece, that is not desirable. Surface finish is getting damaged. You are getting, so your intention is to get a thickness of T1. That amount of material you want to remove, but effectively due to the built-up edge, you are removing T2 thickness. You are trying to remove more amount of material. So that will also change the dynamics of the machining process. And the accuracy of the machined component will also reduce. Understand? So these are the effects of built-up edge on the machining process and the cutting tool. And for some time, built-up edge will cover the cutting edge. Then some portion of the tool material, because tool surface is like this, rake surface, it may be coated also sometimes, or if it is not also, because this built-up edge, this is in contact, whenever it is going with the chip, some portion, very minor portion of the tool material is also going along with this, because they are sticking together and they are trying to remove the workpiece material which is plastically deformed, that is built-up edge. So along with that, some portion of the tool material will also go. So then it is weakening the tool. So that is also one disadvantage. So this is the effect of built-up edge on machining process. So there are effect on workpiece also, machined workpiece is also, its surface finish is poor, etc. Now coming to the tool also, tool life is okay, decreasing. Is it clear? Is this clear? Built up edge, its formation and its disadvantages. I hope I am
Yes, sir.
audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here, okay, same thing is put in words. So it causes fluctuations in cutting force. How? Because for some time, layer by layer, the built-up edge is getting formed. And once the built-up edge is present, so built-up edge is in contact with the workpiece material and it is trying to cut the workpiece material. Now, once the built-up depth of cut is also changing because T1 okay is in force once the built-up edge is removed. Okay, before that T2. So there is a fluctuation in the cutting force. Okay, earlier you are trying to remove T2 thickness, now T1 only, and the built-up edge is not there, it is T1. With the built-up edge, it is T2. Thickness is varying. So once the built-up edge is removed, suddenly the force is changing. Okay. So there is fluctuation in cutting force, which is not desirable. Okay. It can lead to the vibrations and chatter, and finally the fatigue force is coming onto the cutting tool that will weaken the cutting tool and it will break later. Now adversely affects the surface finish because some portion of the built-up edge is sticking to the finished surface, so it is disturbing the surface finish there. And during cutting also, built-up edge is coming between the tool and the workpiece, so it is disturbing the surface finish. Now changes the geometry of the cutting tool. You have understood that rake angle is changing. Okay. And the cutting edge may not be sharp also. Okay. Initially cutting edge is sharp. Now once the built-up edge is formed, okay, some kind of curvature is coming on the cutting edge. So it is changing the geometry of the cutting tool. Now built-up edge changes the configuration of the cutting edge and dulls it. Okay, this is the other point. Geometry means we are talking about the rake angle, etc. Here, a cutting edge. So those are the main disadvantages of built-up edge. Now, how to reduce this built-up edge? Built-up edge has many disadvantages. Now, how do we reduce it? Increase the cutting speeds. Okay, at higher cutting speeds, chances of built-up edge will reduce because less amount of heat will generate. So mainly that heat, whatever is generated, that is the main reason for built-up edge. Decrease depth of cut. So if you are decreasing depth of cut, you are removing very small amount of material and you can easily remove it without much friction between the tool and the workpiece, or okay, not the workpiece will not bulge, okay, in front of the cutting tool much if you are removing very small amount. Increase the rake angle. So if you are increasing the rake angle, then cutting tool is becoming sharp and you are cutting it very easily. And if the rake angle is less, okay, you have to exert more force, as I told you. That will lead to more heat generation and built-up edge formation. Use a sharp tool with reduced tool tip radius. Use very sharp tool. Reduced radius means tool tip is very sharp. Okay, in that case, cutting action will be smooth. If there is some radius, you have to exert more force. Understand? If it is very sharp, with less force, you can easily cut the material. So once you are exerting more force, then obviously more heat will be generated So obviously it will lead to the formation of built-up edge. Use an effective cutting fluid. You have to choose very good cutting fluid which can easily take away the heat from the machining zone. So if heat is removed, built-up edge formation will be reduced. Use a cutting tool that has a lower chemical affinity for the workpiece material. So there should not be good chemical affinity. Okay, they will not stick together, workpiece material and the tool material. So that means if you want to machine one workpiece material, you have to carefully select the tool material. Okay, so if the carbide is sticking to the steel, so instead of carbide, you use some ceramic which will not stick to the steel easily. Okay, so in that way you can avoid the formation of built-up edge. So far we have seen discontinuous chip. So if discontinuous chip is there, irregular surface due to chip discontinuities. Chip is breaking and the workpiece is engaged. Here you can see there is some zigzag surface. Okay, this we have understood earlier. Chip is breaking and a tool is engaging with the workpiece again, like that. Here if there is a continuous chip, you will get good surface finish. And the next is if you have built-up edge, so even though chip is continuous, you have these small lumps of built-up edge sticking on the finished surface. So surface finish is not good here also. Okay. Now, okay, let us stop here and we'll discuss the concept of a chip breaking in the next class. Yeah, any doubts in today's class?
No, sir.
Okay. So if you have any doubt, you please ask me. Okay, then we'll see. Okay, so if you don't have any doubt, we'll close this session. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.